Good day and welcome to Jnn Insight. I'm your host, Michael Sharp, and I'm joined by my co-host, Sasha Lee Hamilton. On this program, we bring you the story behind the story, and today we look at dengue. And we have with us the mayor of Portmore, Mr. Leon Thomas. Welcome, Mr. Thomas. I'm going to give you a quiz. It needs a little blood, a little water, and it is one of the greatest killers of the world. What is that?
The Aedes aegypti.
You can continue to be mayor. We had an interim situation worked out for you. So, sir, Portmore, largest growing city in the Caribbean, you tell me. What's the status there? Is things under control?
No, it's not yet under control, Michael. We're still working on it. There's a lot of work to be done in regard to the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes and the breeding sites. So we are doing some work as we speak.
What kind of work are you doing? Have you assessed the situation, or what's the amount of work you have to do, and give us a sense of the lift that you have?
The work that we're doing, we have the Public Health Department with a team in Portmore identifying the breeding sites. Also, the Portmore Municipal Council, we have employed 16 personnel to also find the breeding site and destroy the breeding site and removing the breeding site. So we started in the schools because we know that the school plants are very big plants, and there is a lot of breeding sites because many of our schools is located close to canals, and some of the canals actually even run through the school compound, and there's a lot of whole stuff also dumped on the school ground, including bushing that we have to be doing. And we started also public education with our residents. And we started to collect old fridge, old stove, old toilet bowl, you name it, cans from the communities. Where we have the death take place in Waterford, Portsmouth Primary, those schools, we actually complete our cleanup in those areas. As we speak, we have a team of 16 personnel in the Greater Portmore High School doing cleaning at this time. We have over 60-something schools in Portmore, and we have to go through all of them to make certain that we destroy all those breeding sites. We have also a meeting Thursday with our stakeholders at the Portmore Municipal Council, where we invited the garage operators, the fridge, the repairmen for the fridge, the stove, and all of that, the tire shops. So we are going to have a fulsome discussion, and the Citizens Association president, because we have to get the community involved in fighting this Aedes aegypti mosquito breeding sites in Portmore. So we are doing some work. It's quite costly because up to now we don't really receive any funding from the Minister of Health to help us to go forward. So we have to be using our own source revenue and also asking people to volunteer. I must congratulate the National Solid Waste Management Authority who joined with us, and the Public Health Department who is carrying out the fogging in the municipality. There's a lot of people who believe that is the Portmore Municipal Council have the responsibility to fog mosquitoes, but we are not. But the people vote for us, so we have to give proper representation and also assist in whatever situation that are occurred as we go along.
The budget, as you say, has not been forthcoming from the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
Help me in this join-up government type of situation. Should it not be coming from the Ministry of Local Government as well? Or is it that because you're your own municipality on your own? Help me. And before you answer that as to where it comes from, give me a sense of when you sit down and you assess these 16 schools and the breeding sites, what kind of budget are you talking about in this time to control?
Let me correct you right. It's not 16 schools, it's 60.
60.
60 schools.
You're talking about basic, you're talking about primary, talking about high school, you're talking about prep school. So we have a lot of basic schools in Portmore, right? Now, with the budget, is the minister who have the responsibility of public health, which falls under Minister Christopher Tufton, who have the responsibility for that ministry. So they are the one who's supposed to provide funding to deal with health right across the island. So anything to deal with mosquito fall under their jurisdiction. Long ago, back in the 80s, all of that was a part of local government, but it was shifted to the Ministry of Health. So what happened when we have the Chick V during that period of time? The minister at the time joined with local government, partner with local government, because this is how you have to solve the problem, you know. You have to forge partnership with the different ministries. Because if the minister just go by himself, then it's going to be a long road. So you have to partner with the Ministry of Local Government. And we don't receive any correspondence from our minister that there's a partnership going forward. So we don't have any resources coming from either the Minister of Local Government or the Ministry of Health. So we have to use our own source revenue to deal with the situation over there.
How much would it cost? You sit in your room, what is it you're calling on in terms of the resources?
When you look at the entire Portmore, and I'm talking about communities, schools, open space and things like that, there is a budget for $7.2 million, something that our engineer have put forward.
7.2 million would be the budget to
clean Portmore, get rid of all the bulky waste, including open land. Because what happened, Michael, that we have a lot of open lands there, and people take like old fridge, old stove and dump on these premises. For example, there's a piece of land between Cumberland and Westchester. It is in a terrible condition. The jelly man is also a part of it, because when they cut the jelly and they throw it in the bushes, the water gets inside and breed. And one of the things that we discover, that the underground cable, where you have cable and wireless, put in those cables with those manhole cover. When you lift some of those manhole, mosquitoes kill you. So we have discovered that we have a problem also. That's a breeding site. So what we are going to do now, we are going to discuss the matter with the Public Health Department and also bring a Flow and Digicel, those companies together, see how we can raise some of these covers and treat the water that is in there, because water is also in there. And it's a cool area that mosquitoes also breed. So we recently discovered it sometime over the weekend when we happened to remove one of these covers. We see thousands of mosquitoes coming out of it.
We'll get away from the budget business a bit. It will take $7.2 million, of which the municipality has spent how much out of your own coffers so far?
So far we have gone exceed $2 million, little bit million.
Over $2 million so far. And the work has been geared specifically towards what?
And the work that we're doing are geared specifically towards schools, to clean up school and also remove bulky waste from within communities and open space.
How many of these 60 schools have you covered already?
We have covered so far 7 of the 60 schools.
Okay.
7 of the 60?
7. Because some of them is really in bad condition. We have to be cutting, we have to rake, we have to remove these debris, because on some of the school compound, the principal reported that is the neighboring communities that dump the whole stuff on the school compound. So we have a lot of old fridge, old stove and all of that, a lot of cuttings, because the plant is very big.
Well, you have...
And we have also including in that, we have done drain cleaning.
Drain cleaning, for the 2 million and max.
Yes.
But you have been noticeably kind to the NSWMA. and say you thank them for a job well done. You don't normally hear that from a municipality. So how, with 7 of 60, so much more work to be done, the whole heap of bushing and throwing away, I mean, are they effective? Although you're complimenting them?
No, what really happened with why I'm complimenting the National Solid Waste Management Authority, because Michael, to tell you the honest truth, if they weren't on board, we could not move plenty of the bulky waste, because they make their units available to move these bulky waste. Because if the Portmore Municipal Council should hire trucks, then we're in a serious problem.
Yes.
So with them coming on board and providing the trucks to assist us, I have to congratulate them. You know, when you look at the whole thing and the responsibility where it falls, and you're not getting the help from that department, only that they are doing the fagging, then you have to congratulate the department that don't have the responsibility to come to remove these things
They
just
don't,
like that.
that's a part that's bugging me. They don't have the
No,
responsibility.
what happened, Michael? Remember now, these are on school compound in bushes and things like that. They don't have a team going out there to really find these things. And when we find them, we take them out and they respond to us as quick as possible.
Okay.
If it's a same day operation, they are there with us.
Yes.
You know, and it is really a very good thing. The supervisor, Mr. Gooden, if you call him and tell him that you have some emergency case that you need to deal with, he's there with you. So I have to congratulate them. And in that form. But when it comes to domestic garbage collection, we have a different problem with them.
All right, we're going to come back to that problem when we come back on Insight. And we're talking, of course, to the Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas. And we're talking about that animal that is just need a little water, a little bit of your blood, and you can guess the gender. She's female. We'll be right back on Insight. Welcome back to Insight. We are discussing the Aedes aegypti mosquito in particular, but in general, dengue and the cleaning up of Portmore, if you may. And I'm with my co-host, Ashley Hamilton.
Yes, so Mr. Mayor, what has been the public response to this whole campaign of cleaning up, of destroying these mosquito breeding sites?
Well, you know, from the communities that we serve notices and use town criers to inform them about the cleaning up and to get rid of these breeding sites within their homes. I must tell you that the response is not 100%, because we have used town criers and I know that they have a lot of more waste in their backyard. What we are going to do after the meeting tomorrow, we are going to ask the health department along with the municipality and the police. They are going to visit some of these homes, and the people who fail to put out these old things, they are going to be prosecuted.
Okay.
The Portmore Municipal Council also provide nets to cover water drum, because of the water crisis that is now affecting Portmore and Kingston, right? There are a lot of storage that is being done in the homes. And we discovered that the mosquitoes are breeding inside some of these drums. So we have also purchased mosquito nets. So we'll be distributing mosquito nets in that drive. Years ago, when I was living in the country, we usually have the health inspector visit the homes. And if you don't bore the tins, and if you have anything that breed mosquito, you usually get prosecuted or a ticket. We want the health department to enforce it because it is there in the law. And that is how we are going to approach the communities. And that's the reason why we're having the meeting with all our citizens association and stakeholders. And we'll be going community to community, and we'll be providing flyers showing examples how the mosquito breed and everything. And then I am expecting the full force of the law to put in place to prevent it.
Are there town hall meetings different from people going around or handing out flyers? Are there town hall meetings to inform people of
We are having the first town hall meeting tomorrow at 5:30 at the Portmore Municipal Council, Portmore Pines. And after the town hall meeting, we'll be going to community by community. So the citizens associations will set up the different timing where we go into the community. And what we're going to do is to make certain that the communities that we go to, we set up a date immediately after the meeting for collection. After the collection of that community, we will ask the health department to visit that community. So anyone that failed to put out will be in trouble with the law.
Okay. So you said earlier that there is some law on the books for prosecuting people.
Yes.
Is there a fine, a specific fine for that?
I can't talk to the fine at this time, but I know that when I was growing up, not because I look so young, you know, but I'm a very old man, right? And in the country, if you don't bore these cans, or if you choose to keep water in any container, and it is not treated with a little coconut tile or a little bleach or something like that, and as long as it breeding mosquito and they visit, you either have to get rid of it, or you'll be prosecuted.
So this prosecution that you're speaking about is only for Portmore? Are you pressing to have it a national thing?
It should be a national thing. It's not only a Portmore thing. I think what happened that over the years, the public health department have cut staff. They don't have the amount of people going back to visit the communities. And that's the reason why we're having a lot of these Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. And based on projection that I'm hearing, there are more disease that is going to come. So we have to take care of the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. And the only way we're going to get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes is to have a full team within all the parishes that is going to go to the homes and examine the homes to make certain that these breeding sites are not there anymore.
You said in the first segment that there have been 7 schools, just 7 schools that you've covered out of the 60. Is that because of a lack of resources? What is it? Is it because there are too many breeding sites in each school?
It is a lack of resources because the Portmore Municipal Council have to use its own source revenue, right? So it's a lack of resources. If we did have resources, then what we do is to have different teams in different schools, and we have covered the schools already. But we don't have the resources to take on, say, 20 school or 30 school one time. Because before school open, myself and the Councillor for Waterford have called on the Minister of Health and also the Minister of Education to close school for 2 days, which will be the Monday and the Tuesday, and allow the vector control team to go inside the schools and to fog the classroom. What happened? That based on the location of the schools, there's a lot of mosquitoes go inside the classroom. And with the Aedes aegypti mosquito, I don't know which one of the students might have the virus and come to school. And the Aedes is under the decks because they fly during the day, right? And beat anyone, then they're going to spread the virus. You know, the first 2 days of schools, right? We don't have a lot doing. We only meet and greet. So take out those 2 days and we fog out the classroom at one day and hear out the classroom the Tuesday. Because why we're saying 2 days, if you spray the room and go in there the following day, the student who have asthma will start to get sick. So we have discussion with the public health department, and they were saying 2 days.
Well, Mr. Mayor, can't we do that 2 days ahead of the start of school as opposed to taking off the first 2 days of school?
What happened, Michael? The announcement from the minister was right on the button of the weekend.
Okay.
So you could not spray the Friday or the Saturday because of the announcement, the late announcement.
Okay.
So it only leave us to call for those 2 days, the Monday and the Tuesday.
I am.
And in that, we are seeing in Portmore, where a lot of students are coming down with the virus. For Portsmouth Primary, for example, 9 students per day the school is seeing coming down with the virus that they have to send home.
We have received virus, because we can mistakenly think everything is dengue.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
They see signs of students having fever and
this is one school.
This is one school.
9
This is one school. 9 per day.
Suspected
dengue cases. We have received the correspondence. I have the correspondence, and the principal was interviewed and talked about the situation. And that is one of the schools that the little girl died from. One of the case.
Yes.
All right. So if we did just take those 2 days, we would have this great spread. And I know that is a great number of students and adults that having the virus in Portmore.
Would you say we're in a crisis in Portmore as it relates to, measure it for me, I mean.
Based on the situation, Michael, I would say crisis. Based on the situation and the complaints that I am receiving from also local community doctors, that are saying that, yes, the virus is in Portmore and it is extremely bad. I do understand that we are going to have a spike, then we are going to have a down. But at this time, it seems like we're having spike. And with this type of mosquitoes, we cannot take no chance. These type of mosquitoes kill. It is not like the Culex. The Culex mosquitoes, you might see them on the walls and things like that, and those Culex mosquitoes will attack you. The Aedes aegypti mosquito is one of them that is a shy mosquito, right? They will sit under the decks, they will stay there, and they will attack your ankles and things like that. The Culex is the one that attack you. Yeah. Those are the ones that come at the ears and you see them and those, and they litter the wall. Those ones don't carry the virus. We have a lot of that in Portmore. And the dengue one, which is the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, those are the ones that is the shy mosquitoes.
Very well, and I didn't know there was ever a shy mosquito in this world, but what I do know is that they are one of the greatest killers.
Yes.
They send down a thing in you with about 6 different needles. Separate, cut, suck up, and then leave you with the virus. Yes. We have to kill them before they kill us. Yes, we get them sometimes, but for most part, when they get us bad, and they send us into deep mourning. We're talking with Leon Thomas, Mayor of Portmore. Mr. Portmore, right? I'm sure you'd like that name.
No, former Mayor George Lee is the Mr. Portmore.
Is Mr. Portmore. We'll be right back on Insight. Welcome back to Insight. We're discussing the deadliest animal you know, whatever you want to call him, vermin, whatever you know, not even vermin. You know them. They leave you with a little swelling on your hand after they've already gotten your blood. She's female, a little blood, a little water, and that mixture makes them the most devastating. They mess up children's lives, especially children, the elderly, and we're talking about a place where schools are in trouble. And I have with me my co-host, Ashley Hamilton.
Mayor, what's your message to the public?
Well, the message to the public is that I am asking all citizens of Portmore to join with the Portmore Municipal Council and the Public Health Department and any other agencies that come on board to fight this deadly virus. We cannot allow these mosquitoes to kill our people of the municipality. And if all of us join together, we will solve the problem and prevent any further death in the municipality of Portmore. So I'm pleading to the residents of Portmore to join with us in our fight against the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes.
What specifically do you want these people to do?
Check around your homes. Make certain that all the breeding sites that are there, you get rid of them. And also to continue to monitor your flowers gardens, because also they breed in cool place and in rocks and things like that. So monitor your flowers garden, monitor your flowers vaults, and also keep your toilet bowl closed, because they also breed within the toilet bowls in your homes.
Water tanks?
The water tanks, make certain that you have a little cooking oil tip in it to prevent the breeding of the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. So we are going to do a public education. We are going to have flyers. We are going to have different forums that we're talking to them about in the communities. And we're also going into the schools to talk to the children. So we are going to have a team also going to the schools and talking to the children, because the children have to also join to fight this deadly virus.
So schools themselves have a part to play in this.
Exactly. And that's the reason why we're inviting the school principals at our meeting tomorrow. We want every single organization and community members on board, including the churches. They are also a part of it.
Is it that you're going to lobby to put at least one person in each school who is responsible for cleanup, who is responsible for ensuring that schools do this, that schools follow these practices to ensure that mosquito breeding sites aren't staying in the area?
We don't have the resources to place any inspector into any schools to monitor that situation. We are going to rely on the public health department, including the principals, to assign somebody to make certain that we don't go back to where we are coming from. The municipality will have the resources to clean up schools. The Minister of Education need to allocate more money so that the plants can keep clean, because they have a challenge. When you enter the school compound, it might be looking good. But if you go to the back of the schools and things like that, plenty of the school plants have acres of lands that need cleaning. But the school don't have the resources. But we are giving it a one-shot cleanup and hoping that the Minister of Education will see it fit to allocate some money for the maintenance of these school plants.
Yes. What I don't understand, Mayor, is how is it that Portmore is one of the places suffering most from this mosquito problem, from dengue, and it's not getting the resources to assist?
Well, one other thing is that Portmore was built in a swamp here, and we are going to have mosquitoes, right? So when it comes down to mosquitoes, we're not going to be able to get rid of mosquitoes in Portmore. We can control mosquitoes, but we can't get rid of it because they breed in the rocks, in the hills, and we have a lot of mangroves and things like that. Now, I can't understand myself why the minister only toured Portmore, and when he toured Portmore, he did not leave a plan say, this is what we are going to do. And Portmore registered the first death since the outbreak. He visit, he identify breeding site, he see the breeding site, and no plan more than said that they are going to increase fagging. No, so far, we know about 3 deaths in Portmore, right? So far. There are other suspected cases, but you know you have to wait on the authority to make the announcement, to declare it. So we only have like 3 now. Now, I can't understand why we are not getting any resources to do anything. I heard that the member of parliaments, that money going to allocate it to member of parliaments to do cleanup like what we are doing. I still await. There is nothing from the member of parliaments.
Who is a member of parliament?
You have Fitz Jackson, you have Orlando Turlang, and you have Colin Fagan. I know that the MPs in December, they have carried out cleanup activities in their constituency by removing bulky waste, and the money came from TPDCO to clean up the bulky waste in their constituency. So I know that they have done some removal of old fridge and old stove, but they are not yet allocated with any more funding to do anything.
So they have not gotten any more funding, or is that the funding they have gotten have not been allocated? I want to be sure.
They don't get no funding to do any more work in regarding to the cleanup of the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. Nothing. But it was said that an allocation will be provided to members of parliaments.
Said by whom, sir?
The Minister of Health,
Okay.
Dr. Christopher Tufton. But no allocation is made as yet. I have discussion with MP Fitzjackson about the resources. He said that the announcement was made and they received no money as yet. So they are still awaiting to hear from the minister of that allocation. We at the Portmore Municipal Council cannot wait, because one debt is too much for the municipality. The grief, the suffering, the pain that the parents face, we cannot bear it. And we are calling on the minister to join with us, because him alone cannot solve this problem. This is not a political thing, because the mosquito are not choosing who they bite.
Yes, I noticed.
Right?
Yes.
And we have situation with Chick V, Zika V, and foot and mouth diseases in schools. And the Portmore Municipal Council, the Minister of Health, joined with us. And it didn't take any time for us to do the work to get rid of the situation and bring it down in time.
So what's the difference now? That's what Sasha Lee has been asking.
And that's why I'm saying the minister is not talking to us. The minister is simple not communicating with the Minister of Local Government, because if such a communication did take place, the Minister of Local Government will communicate to us. But there is no communication between the Minister of Local Government and the Minister of Health. And if they are communicating, then they are not talking to us.
Okay. I have a scenario to put to you, Mr. Mayor, because I've listened to your analysis of the situation. You say we'll always have mosquitoes.
We'll always.
And for those who don't know Portmore and what, you say they will breathe in the rocks.
Yes.
It was a swamp. So we get the sense that we'll always be at war with these female mosquitoes.
We'll
Yes?
always be at war with the Culex mosquitoes.
The Culex
The
mosquitoes.
Culex.
Okay.
The Culex mosquitoes are the ones that breed in any condition. These mosquitoes don't really carry the virus, but the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, we can get rid of them.
So they don't breathe in any condition, any and every condition?
No.
What are the conditions?
The
they
condition that they breed in, they normally use fresh water, cool areas to breathe.
Oh, really? No,
Yes.
well, I'm getting up on my mosquito knowledge here. I think you're about to learn the hard way, right? But I put it to you, though. We are living in a, warm climate, yes? Mosquitoes will always be with us. And so, therefore, we always seem to be chasing our tails when this outbreak comes. Can't we anticipate that we're in a tropic and therefore we'll always have that? What's going on, Mr.
Michael, I think we have to do better, civic pride.
Okay.
Because one of the things that is happening, that we eat, we throw the boxes, the styrofoam boxes, we throw the cans, we throw the bottles, we throw everything on the road. In the homes again, we throw the old furnitures, the old toilet bowls in the bushes. We have water storage tanks and things like that. So it boils down to civic pride.
And it boils down to, if you can't depend on a certain set of people to come clean your waste, and you have to get rid of it, and that's how people get rid of it.
Well, yeah, that is also one of the problems that we face. Because when I think, Michael, within Portmore, you have a lot of housing schemes. So you don't have any way to get rid of the old fridge and old stove that easily, unless you have to pay a transportation to take it to the Riverton dump. And when you charter a van to take the old fridge or old stove to the dump in Riverton, it's a challenge for them to even get on the site. So I think what the government need to do is to have a separate time when they have tipper trucks that goes to community, so they know that during this period of time they must get rid of the old stove and the old fridge and those solid stuff.
Yes.
Right? So we don't have them in the drains and in the bushes. So I think that in the United States they have a day when they declare when solid stuff be collected. And also they have a day when you have the domestic waste.
I have to take a break, Mr. Minion, but we always talk about the United States. Let me tell you something. If you don't do it, the consequences are real.
And that's what we need to do.
And that's what our shortage is. We don't prosecute. We'll be right back on Insight. Welcome back to Insight. This morning we're talking to Leon Mosquito Thomas, a man who wants to control the mosquito in Portmore. And he's in charge of that municipality, and boy, it's an uphill struggle as we hear. 2 million out of his own coffers so far, a budget of 7.2 million, and he wants to hear from the Ministry of Health, and of course some more from the Ministry of Education as it relates to the plants. So far, if you missed the program, some 9 students per day reporting of symptoms.
From one school.
From one school. And to help me ask more about what's going on, is Ashley Hamilton.
May, you said in the previous segment that we can't get rid of mosquitoes. There are 2 types that you mentioned, the Culex and the Aedes aegypti. But you said we can't get rid of the Culex, but we can get rid of the Aedes aegypti, and that's the one causing the problem. So how do we go about getting rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito?
Getting rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito, we have to get rid of the breeding sites in Portmore. And the breeding sites are within the homes and also around the homes. And that is where we want to focus our attention to get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. The Culex mosquitoes, we will have them because they breed in the rocks, breed in the drains, and wherever they breed. So it is going to be very difficult, and in the mangroves and things like that. When you usually have aerial spray, then you usually have a full control over the Culex mosquitoes. But you know that we're not doing aerial spraying anymore, because if you do that now, we kill a bee and things like that. So long ago, they get rid of aerial spraying. And recent research also show that the mosquitoes, the Culex, are getting used to the type of chemicals that is now being used. So they have to now looking at different ways how we are going to get rid of the Culex mosquitoes. And saying that we cannot get rid of them is based on the condition, the location of where Portmore is situated, because we have a lot of mangroves and they breed within the mangroves, those kind, and that is the reason why. But if we have all the citizens taking part and playing their part, and the different agencies play their parts, then we won't have the Aedes aegypti mosquito to contend.
So you're saying that we need a sustained effort then in order to get rid of these mosquitoes?
We need a sustained effort to get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito breeding sites. And that is the reason why I am suggesting for the powers that be to make provision for tipper trucks, and also to give a clear day when these trucks will be coming in the municipality. For example, community know that on a Monday they get domestic collection, and Tuesday, Wednesday, so they know when it's their turn. So the resident place the garbage outside. But if they declare a day when the truck is going to come to these communities to collect these solid waste, then we won't have the problem where people have to be taking the solid waste and put it in the drain or put it in the bush. That is how we are going to. And then the enforcement part of it also come into the whole mix to make certain that the people conform to what supposed to be
So,
best practice.
for instance, the health ministry says that by March, around March, we should see like a decline in the cases of dengue. But you're saying if we continue these efforts then, so you're saying maybe monthly something could happen so that we see gradually a reduction in mosquito breeding sites to prevent an upsurge?
They can have a monthly collection. They can have a monthly collection, and after a monthly collection, we can look at quarterly collection, right? Where we have the trucks go around and collect solid waste quarterly. And one other thing again, that we have seen where a lot of people have overgrown trees, and also people cut their lawns and things like that, and they bag it and they put it outside, you know, and for the compactors to pick up these is also taking up space. So if we have collection, people know when to cut them lawn. And if they cut the lawn before that time that declared, then they are prosecuted. Something need to put in place. Because when some people cut the lawn, they burn. And when they burn these grass, it affect the neighbors, children, elderly, able-bodied people. So we need to prevent that, and it also messed up our environment. So we need to make certain that we have clear days that we declare that we collect these stuff.
Why can't we do that now?
I think that the Minister of Local Government have to have the resources to put these units in place to declare these days of collection. And I know that they are having some difficulty in regarding to collecting domestic waste based on the number of trucks and payment of contractors, because we have heard it several times where contractors are saying that they don't get paid, so they can't collect the garbage on time and they withdraw their service.
What's the situation? Assess the situation in Portmore for me as it relates to the normal collection of domestic garbage. Is it okay? 50%, 40%? Where does it fall?
I would say 30%.
Whoa.
30%. We have a ups and downs, you know, because there are some communities that is aware that on a Monday they get collection, but they are running behind time. And when that happens, then you have a chain of reactions taking place. Then, you know, they might take over some trucks and they do a one-shot cleanup, bring everything back to normal. But they cannot keep up to it because we lack of garbage trucks across the municipality. And Jamaica, I must say. It's not only Portmore suffering from garbage collection. St. Catherine also suffer from garbage collection, the greater part. Linstead is in a terrible condition right now. Because I happened to go to Linstead last week. And Michael, I can tell you the situation is bad. So, as a journalist, I'm inviting you to go there.
To go to Linstead. And you're inviting the people from Linstead to come to live in Portmore. It's a little better.
Well, you know, I am inviting all good citizens to come and live in Portmore.
You know, and that will create a segue here for me, because we want to know you're a carrier of the mosquito message and the Portmore message, and you're the mayor. You've been the mayor for how long now, sir?
I've been the mayor for 2 years plus, but I was acting after the death of George Lee.
Okay, but how long between your acting and your total mayorship? How many years is that?
I was elected from 1998 as a councillor,
yes.
And I served the Elsha division.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
So the politics start from 1998.
Yes. Are you going back?
Of course.
When is the election due again?
Well, the election due next year.
Next year?
Next year.
And you think you have it ready this time, or nobody can?
Well, you know, when you are in politics, it is like you are preparing yourself for an exam. So at that time, then the people will mark my test paper.
I hear you. Tell us about yourself. So, you mentioned it, the country. You mentioned country one at a time. And
Yes.
since nobody never born a Portmore, we don't even have a hospital over there. Where are you getting that, sir?
Well, you know, there's a private investor who want to build a hospital in Portmore. We've been talking about for quite a long time. But recently, they have visited municipal council and submit a drawing for the housing component where the doctors will be staying and all of that. So they start those model units already. So we are waiting on them to come and finish submit the plan. Then I can give you a clear indication of what they are going.
So what do
where
you
they are
feel
going.
in your elbows and your knees now? Are they serious? You think Portmore will get a hospital soon?
There's a lot of private, other small hospital in Portmore now. One is close by Megamart.
Yes.
And one is going to be in Marine Park. Right? So we have two. That is actually there already. And that one in Marine Park under construction.
Yes.
And the one already at Megamart is fully in operation.
Yes.
But for that major one that we're talking about now, I think I won't say that I feel it as yet. It is very slow.
Yes.
So I don't want to say that, boy, I feel it and it is there and whatever. So I give it some
You're
more
not
time.
using it as a
No,
promise
no.
to anybody.
No.
Where were you born, sir? Where you come
I was born in the parish of Clarendon. And I hail from a community by the name of Ace, Conpeace. And my mother and my other siblings are living in Newborns in Clarendon.
What
That's
school
the
did you
parish.
go to, sir?
I went to the Ace All-Age School. I went to the Bustamante High School. I went to the Via Technical High School.
So how come you went to Bustamante High School and turned out to be a supporter of the PNP? Busta didn't stamp you properly.
You see, the thing is, you know, that during Bustamante time, I was a babe.
Yeah.
And I didn't know much about Buster, but after growing up as an adult and reading books and reading about Michael Manley and Norman Manley, and then my siblings was also a supporter of the People's National Party. So I opted to join the People's National Party.
follow back at them. Give us a sense of your parents, the values they gave you. What prepared you for this political life? Did you know that when you were going to where it was,
Yes.
that you would have turned out to be some political man?
No. Growing up in the country, I never see myself as a politician. And even leaving from the country and living in Portmore, didn't see myself as a politician. The thing is that after Greater Portmore developed, then the first set of residents, I was a part of that. And we have to set up an interim committee to deal with the citizens that come in.
That's right.
So at one meeting, the people nominate me as the interim president during that time, 1991. And I was acting as the interim president, then I became the president. And I remember we were having a discussion about the insurance and the houses and how it been affecting our mortgage going forward. And we invite MP Small. And Michael, you know, sitting here talking to you now as a PMP, at that time, if you were there, then you'd describe me as a laborer.
Okay. You went after him.
Yes, because the whole thing about it, that the people who I represent come first, despite the politics. Because at that time, the PMP wasn't giving us the answers that we were looking for, based on the situation that we were facing. And acted, voted in for the president, served 8.5 years, and after serving the 8.5 years, then PJ Patterson decided to bring back the reform of local government. I did not even consider to run as a councillor at the time. But Portmore is going to divide up in about 8 or 9 different divisions. Then the citizens there believe that they want me to control Greater Portmore. They didn't want me to go anywhere else. They want me to be the councillor for Greater Portmore because I've established several citizen associations in Greater Portmore, including the Joint Council of Greater Portmore. And that time, they see that I am the best man to take control at the time.
You weren't the groom, you're the best.
So they asked me to go. And I went home and I discussed it with my parents, and I discussed it with my wife and my children. And my wife wasn't 100% with it. She didn't want me to go. But I sit and I talk to her, and she said, well, you know, I will give you my support, but I don't like it.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is
And here you are, wanting to go back, wanting to do it again, and no doubt one day want to be a full minister, right?
I would mind after serving as the mayor, and if the vacancy arises, then I'll go.
There you have it. We want to thank the mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, the man who is trying to get rid of and control the mosquitoes on that side of town. And of course, Ashley, I want to thank her as well, and of course, to the technical and editorial teams. Michael Sharp wishing you pleasant viewing.